Hey friends, welcome back. Today we're going to do a tutorial on shading. I'm so glad you're here. Alright, I'm just going to do some simple shading techniques. So the main thing to remember when you're shading is that you have a light source in the sky somewhere and choose your side that it's coming from. So it's not part of your drawing really. I'm putting it in here so that you can kind of remember where it is. Now I'm going to draw a cube. You start with a diamond shape. And then you come down, 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 and then connect and connect. Now the light is coming this way, so it's going to hit here. So this will be the lightest side. This will be the darkest side because it's furthest away from the sun. And then this will be your medium color side. So I'm going to leave this white, I'll make this medium, and shading is just using your pencil to create a color. So I am going over this medium. And it's not going to be perfect, it's fine if it's not perfect, but you want it to be different than that deep shadow side where the sun is the furthest away, where the cube is kind of blocking where the sun hits it. Okay, so that's my medium side. This is my white side. This side, I can do it two ways. I want it to be super dark, so I can go over it the exact same amount and then go over it a second time, maybe a third time to make it really, really dark, or I can just press harder. So I'm gonna go with pressing harder. So I wanna make sure it's different than the white side and different than the middle tone side. So this is a three-dimensional shape, a way to shade a three-dimensional shape. So it's not going to have like fading in and out, but I'm going to show you that too, what fading in and out looks like. Okay, so let's just say we're drawing something that has some 3D quality to it. So I'm just going to do like a mouth. So here's my upper lip and my lower lip. Okay. Here is where the lips join together and they go in towards the inside of the mouth. So this is going to be my darkest part right here. Right? And then most of the rest of it is going to be sort of a middle tone, but we want to leave a highlight, like a part that gets hit by the most light. So I'm going to go and do sort of my middle tone and leave my little highlight. A little place that was shiny when the sun hits it. My shading. And I'm gonna, from my dark, I'm gonna fade out to my medium. So I don't want it to be like a straight line, I want it to be like a fade. So I'm just going over until it looks faded in. I'm gonna do the same thing on the upper lip. So I'm gonna choose like where, maybe I want my highlight here and here. And then I'll do my medium shade, go around my highlight, and then work on fading from the darkest tone to that middle tone. So I get some like, I don't want that striping, remember. Now I'm going to give you a little trick. So if I'm doing a sphere, spheres are harder to shade because you're not fading straight across. I'm going to do some shading here at the edge, the dark tone. My highlight is going to be up here, but I can actually lick my finger and blend up, but I want to make sure I have enough color on the page to really do that. So I'm going to make sure this is nice and dark. And I'm just going to blend up with my wet finger. I just licked it. You could also just get it wet in the sink or something. But you want to make sure this part stays white, that you blend the rest. Go back over my edge, clean it up a little bit. Another great way to do a sphere is to trace a circle. So it's kind of more of a perfect shape, but I don't worry so much about making things perfect. But if you were like, oh, it has to be exactly the shape of a circle, then you might want to do that. Could also like fade in a little bit if I want. Blend that by licking my finger. Okay, so that's my sphere. Let's see, let's do a cylinder. So with this one, the light source would actually be here. Here's my sun on this one because it's hitting right here. This is the white part, this is the shadow. In my cylinder, I'll have this as my light source too. And with a cylinder, your darkest point is actually almost all the way to the edge and not quite. So here's my shadow here. I'm going to leave a little highlight here because the light kind of bends around the other side. A little highlight, and then I'm going to fade that towards this way. And I can use my same trick by licking my finger if I want to, or I can just try to go lighter and lighter and lighter to blend it out. I want to have a white spot here and then a little bit of shading on this side, but not as dark as the other side. And let's see, we could either leave this white or we could fade it in, let it fade back out. Kind of blend that. Then I can use my eraser to make sure that that highlight comes back in. Okay, so why don't you try to do some 3D shapes and work on a little bit of shading, and then I'd love to see what you do.